Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. A little bit earlier start than usual, a soggy day outside, but both Lubie and I have made it to Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market in Hollywood. We're getting ready for a big week. Spring holidays are being kicked off, and we've got Jeff Defo DeForest off in the home base of Lauderdale by the Sea. How are you today, Defo?
Well, I have to say, as much as I love going to Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, I got done with a show I was doing here at 11 o'clock, so it would have been rough, and it's not clear sailing. I mean, it looks like the opening couple of days at Keeneland there, Mike Mayo, outside. I don't know how it is by you, but the storm is here, right overhead.
Those storms that were in Kentucky over the weekend and were in Tallahassee yesterday, triggering tornado warnings. Now down here, and then we're going to get probably our last cool front of the season. I was looking, it's supposed to be back down in the 60s after this front comes through. Meanwhile, it sounds like your microphone. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you got to change the setting like this morning, Dave.
We're getting a lot of reverb and echo. So
it's just a setting. He's going through the camera, and he's not going through the board. But he's there, we're here, and there's nothing like Gene and his team as they've celebrated both the holidays and a little bit more. I guess seafood's a big deal when it comes to Easter and the Easter holiday season, I guess.
Well, yeah, as we went through Lent every Friday, nobody, the practicing Catholics and others who adhere to Lent won't eat meat, and that includes chicken and other fowl on Fridays. And it's all about the fish, as our friend Tony Segreto showed us at Gulfstream and 10 Palms, even though he has special dispensation from the Pope, because that's the kind of guy Tony Segreto is. He said, hey, El Papa, is it okay if I sneak in a little burger now and then, especially those great sliders at Gulfstream? But, I guess apparently I never learned that people over 70, if they practice Lent. Oh, look at this. And a late arrival to the fish party is the gefilte fish,
the gefilte fish,
which is Defoe's favorite.
Can you save me some? Does that sound any better, by the way?
Yeah. No, you're going to have to close out and come back. It's still doing it.
All right. So we've got an assortment of fish and a nice chicken noodle soup with a good day for chicken noodle soup when it's rainy like this.
Yes, it's a perfect chicken noodle soup
weather. All right. I'm looking at various fishes. Fish? Is it fish or fishes?
Fish, plural. Come on, mister. You have a lot more academic.
The plural of fish is fish.
Like shrimp.
One fish,
shrimp,
two fish, three fish, four fish. We have people, onlookers at the store. And again, I love coming out to Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, 4191 State Road 7 in Hollywood. It's been here for over 60 years. The business itself was founded more than 70 years ago, right up the road when there was an actual chicken farm. And now they moved up the road right across from the old Seminole Classic Casino, as they call it now. It was the original bingo hall. The bingo parlor that launched an empire.
Yeah.
And an empire right across the street here, where now we've got Jose and Gene running the show, taking the reins over from Doug Carter, who for the longest time with his late wife Elsie ran it. And as you can see, rain doesn't keep people away from here, Lubie. It's very impressive because it seems like even on these stormy days, people come flocking in here. And I love the setup here because you could see the activity as people come in and they pick up their chicken, all their chicken parts, a lot of good specials. If you want to sign up for their weekly specials, you go onto their website at delawarechicken.com. And I'm a little all over the place because I guess I was up late watching that Gator comeback. And you guys talked about it on your morning show today. But, yesterday I was asking as a Seminole alumni, and now that my daughter is at Tallahassee and I'm a Gator, I've always been a Gator hater. But I don't know. I felt like bad in the middle of it when they were down 12, and I thought they were going to get blown out.
I didn't.
No,
I was everyone because my whole world is whether they're Kane fan. I have friends that were Gators. My 2 uncles are Gators, but we don't communicate regularly. The people I talk sports with all are either Knowles or have Canes leaning, so we all despise the Gators. So
That's a common thread.
people started chatting
Bringing people together.
because they got to 12 and then they had the ball, and they really, the defense was kicking. The offense wasn't a disaster at that point for Houston. And my friends are like, oh, it feels like this is about to slip away from Florida. And I didn't respond. I'm like, you stupid idiots. You haven't watched the last 3 games.
No, they have been, as Defo likes to say, what have they exhibited throughout this tournament? And now that they're champions?
Late game resiliency.
There you go.
Yes.
Late game resiliency. Were you impressed?
Was that comprehensible?
Yes, it's better now. Now you're doing it. Now it's good.
Much better.
Yeah. No, it was very painful, Mike Mayo. What are you talking about? I was about to win. I've been doing this probably 60 years. I would imagine getting involved in some kind of NCAA bracket pool, and I've never won one. I want to say I've never actually won. I've cashed a couple of times, minor awards. But I was in a position, if Houston wins, I win the pool.
Oh, like money? Like big
yes,
money?
he's going to win the pool.
Yes, cash money. I would have been at Cafe Seville buying drinks
Are
for
we
the
talking about dimes or like?
It was not enough to be crying about, but nonetheless, it wasn't really about that. It's the competition.
It's the feather.
Right.
The white man can't play basketball anymore at that level. Do you think I want to go and put my jumper against that Houston defense? They literally did it. It looked like he dug up Sonny Liston and put sneakers and shorts on the guy.
But I would have
who's defending you.
I would have thought that maybe tribal instincts took hold and you would have gone for the Jewish coach. But I guess you went the other way.
You know what? I have respect for this guy, even though he was in a jackpot. I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about it to pass any reasonable opinion on about whether he was complicit or not. But that being said, I mean, the guy seems to have. I mean, he's sort of like a humble, put your head down and go, "Oh shucks," kind of guy, talking about how great Kelvin Sampson is and all of this other stuff, and then he had a dynamite year. I mean, went out there, won a national championship at 39 years old.
All we can do is just salute the champion Gators, as hard as that it is to say for some
Very
people.
hard. Very difficult.
They were a team that exhibited resilience and had numerous comebacks throughout the tournament. And they were like the horse that, sometimes horses just go whistle and they go right to the front and they don't really get tested, and then they face a big field. This is like what we're going to be confronting in the Kentucky Derby, where you have some of these West Coast horses running in small fields and never have traffic trouble, and everybody thinks they're a sure thing. But I like the Gators. I like horses that are battle tested and maybe have had some trouble and maybe finished second or third in their prep races. And then when it comes time for the big race, they maybe know how to weave and make a comeback. So Gators made the comebacks all throughout the tournament. And what's his name? Golden?
Todd Golden.
39. I heard he was the youngest coach to win a championship since young Jim Valvano did it at age 37. The youngest.
Because they said he was the youngest guy in some article I was reading in the modern era.
It was
and I'm thinking, really? I mean, Valvano, to me, that's more than modern era. What are you talking about? Like it happened yesterday.
Valvano was the modern. And coincidence or not, but young coaches beat heralded Houston teams. I mean, that was the Phi Slamma Jamma days.
A team that had Hall of Famers on it.
Which is just incredible that they didn't win that team with what? Olajuwon and Sampson?
No, it was Olajuwon and Drexler.
Drexler, okay.
On the same team, two of the top.
I don't have anything personally against Jim Nance, but it was fun seeing him with an omelet on his face. The team, the dream there, just despondent as the Gators walked off with the championship. But huge choke jobs, a lot of choke jobs. Everybody was saying this was the greatest Final Four ever. I don't know about that, but you had 3 close games, that's for sure. But it seemed like Duke was a giant choke job. I don't want to make the Mama Cash joke on this show because it's in poor taste involving a ham sandwich, which was fictional.
It's wrong.
A fictional ham sandwich.
Here's the thing. Even if you didn't want the Gators to win, at least take solace in the fact that ex-President Obama, he went down in flames because he picked Duke like he does every year.
Yeah,
flaming chalk.
He's a big chalk player. 4 number ones got into the.
By the way, I'm surprised you haven't alluded to. You were talking about these Derby races, but in an oddity, I believe the Bluegrass is today at Keeneland.
Today, yes, because of all the weather-related delays and postponements.
And you know who had him out there yesterday?
What was that? Who's that?
Luca Panici was riding at Keeneland yesterday.
Oh, he went
was
up?
in there in a $600,000 stakes race. And as I perused the results, he finished no better than sixth because they went down 5 places
off the board. No,
I didn't see the score.
I after the show yesterday, I went home, turned on TVG, had my brother Burl on his day off from Gulfstream where he works. But yesterday he was off. Today he's off. So me and him are going to be kind of trying to come up with some winners. And yesterday I horrified myself
You bet
because in the last race,
Exactly.
and my big play of the day was that horse that our friend Geach at Cafe Seville, Gate to Wire, who couldn't get the distance. He was cutting back yesterday, and I loved him. I was going to throw 50 to win place on him. He was 3-1 in the morning line. He was going against the big favorite. You know what happened? He flipped in the paddock and he landed on his side.
No.
And that's an automatic scratch these days. He was fine. But once you hit the ground, you're scratched. So all my tickets, I had to cancel all these big tickets and pick 3s and pick 5s. And then I was left scrambling. And then, of course, I did everything one can possibly do wrong, culminating in the last race of the day yesterday, Keeneland. I always, in the last race of the day, especially if I'm behind,
well, what do you mean?
In honor of my late,
when you're behind,
well, because it's called the Roy Slanoff Special Get Out. You remember
he
Roy?
boxes like the 2-4-8-9 or something.
No, 2-3-7-8. You do a 2-3-7-8 box, both exactas and trifectas. And I was down to such limited funds yesterday. I didn't have enough to do. All I did was a 2-3-7-8 superfecta box. Of course, the 8 breaks down in the race, and it comes in 7-3-2. 9-1 over 9-1 over 51-1, and the 50-cent try came back like $900.
No,
and
nothing.
I didn't have it.
That's a bad day.
Nothing.
And then you were making recommendations as to betting Houston in the championship game.
Exactly.
I sat out
that one. I don't know. You have to. I have a number here. Actually, I was just on the phone with these people after the Houston loss last night. Cost me the full Coalition Against Problem Gamblers. You can call them 1-888 admit it. Right. That's a bad day, Mike Mayo. I mean, I hope the place you guys were at yesterday was good because I mean, it couldn't have been a forbearance for that kind of activity in here.
I reached into the account and put another $100 in. I'm trying to hit the early pick 5 today at Keeneland. I will watch again. It's a small, like a 8-horse field in the Bluegrass. A lot of Kentucky Derby points at stake, which will, some of them will kind of get in at the last minute. But then we have some good horses. River Thames, who was down here at Gulfstream and finished second, I think, to Sovereignty in the Fountain of Youth Stakes is going, and a couple other good, well-regarded. Going to be a good race today at the Bluegrass Stakes. Unusual, being on a Tuesday, a major race day.
Yeah, so this is the actual
you know what I don't
race,
like
I
about
guess.
having
It's
this
a
perspective on the show, though, watching you guys with a pile of food in front of you and the new Mayo,
Yes.
which, by the way, I mean, you look trimmed down completely.
Yes, I'm getting comments everywhere.
It's noticeable. I mean, easily. But you haven't even mentioned the food yet. I mean, you're 15 minutes into this thing and haven't talked about a single thing. You haven't taken a bite of anything. This is all in your wheelhouse, Mayo. It's Passover.
I know. Well, so I was trying to be a good host and wait for Gene, who, of course, is one of the managers here, and he always
busy.
prepares food
Guy
for us.
calls up like 5 minutes away.
And they are slammed today.
They're slammed.
It's a holiday week. Let's set the table, so to speak.
Like,
We've got Passover starts on Saturday night. The first of 2 Seders starts Saturday night, the 12th. This Sunday is Palm Sunday, Easter Sunday the following Sunday, and it's not just American Easter or whatever you call Catholic Easter, but also the Eastern Orthodox Easter is also on Sunday, April 20th. So going to be a lot of holiday feasts going on all over South Florida in the next couple of weeks.
And is it the next? So are we at a month? What's the ticker at?
Of what? Stone crabs? Yes, that's the countdown clock is on. We should have it in the lower left corner.
Defo, you missed
the amount of time remaining.
So I look up. I hadn't even seen him yet. I was like texting him. He and I were texting about something. I look up and I see this gentleman leaning over, pointing to things, and then I hear the word. It ends in 3 weeks. It ends 1st. In 3 weeks. We may not be here again. I'm like, oh my God, is that Mayo?
I was snoring. And here's the thing. Stone crab season now ends May 1st. That's the last day the traps can be pulled up. So they'll be in the stores for a couple more days. Yeah. Some people will freeze them, and then they'll be available for Mother's Day at certain restaurants.
How do you feel about
shops.
the frozen
I assume
crab, Mike Mayo?
I don't like them. I'd rather have something that's never frozen because they do have a tendency sometimes to stick to the shell if they're
Well,
frozen.
it's harder to eat it.
But then you have to come up with one of these philosophical questions: is it better to have a stone crab that's sticking to the shell a little bit
Than no
than
stone
to have
crab.
no
Or
stone
more
crab at
overrated,
all?
the stone crab or Bryce Harper. I think he won an MVP
Uh,
since I made that.
Very reasonably priced here. The mediums are under 30 a pound, $29.99, and they're a nice, good size. And even though we've got we've got chicken noodle soup that's in deference to the upcoming
That looks
Passover
amazing.
holiday. I'm gonna take
Is that as thick as it appears to
gonna have
be
a
on the
tofu.
screen here?
Mhm.
Wow.
It's just
Very
full. I
good.
just like that it's full
Very
of
good
stuff.
flavor.
Like
Very
our
good.
friends at Grandpa's, and then here at Delaware, it's not they're not chintzy. Like there's lots of chicken, lots of carrots, lots of celery.
And then we have some fish for the next couple of Fridays for our friends that
Yeah.
observe Lent.
Yep.
This looks like
Do we
some
know what it is?
fillets. I'm going to go with snapper fillets and whole fried
Wow.
snapper.
Okay.
And again, you can see the
Oh,
whole
tilt
fish with
down
the
a little
head
bit.
on. And I
I
look,
can't.
Yeah,
we
it's
both
like
got
freaks
that.
Defo
There
out.
you
My
go.
wife
Yeah,
loves
yeah.
these. People in Caribbean.
I could just
love
pick it up
these.
by the tail and say, "Hey, here we go." Oh, we could be like at the Pike's Market in Seattle and just
inflamed.
start
Fired
throwing
it.
the fish around. And last but not least, you turned down a crisp $100
Yes,
He
bill
did.
that
and
I
I would
had
do
in
it
my
again.
pocket last
He
year.
did.
Even after last night's supper,
And,
I would do it again.
And I still do have a single
All right, send one up
$100
to the
bill in my pocket
He's not
for
even
the weekend.
Yeah, I'll eat it
So,
and give Defo the 100.
No, that's not
I'll
how
split it
it
with
works.
Lubie.
Come down. No,
I'm not scared of it. I like it.
I-
I don't like it. I'm not. I don't have an issue with
Do you ever
My
go
wife
into a
doesn't do it
restaurant
because
like Cafe Seville and say, "Hey, I love all of these different seafood
it's
items you have
so
on the
good.
menu here, but do you have gefilte fish Santa Fe? I mean, or
Does anyone
gefilte
ever
fish
tell you
I've never asked
añejo? I
Joey
mean,
at
you
this
never
deal.
even would consider it.
Like
Frances.
the delis?
You can't do anything with gefilte
That's
fish
actually-
except look at it in the jar and say, "Why are people eating this?" I know they make a good
You
one
know
there, and
who
I'm sure people love it. I don't want to be like
One of the many reasons I love Danny Surfer, who we did
Yeah.
a show with last week
Yeah.
at his blue collar restaurant in Miami. And
Yep.
Danny Surfer, nice Jewish boy,
He's part of the tribe.
also a
He hates
degenerate
gefilte fish.
gambler.
Yes.
Play poker with him. I asked him, "Do you like gefilte fish?" Because we were doing a live
It's
spot
funny.
for Delaware. I said they make their own fresh. It's beautiful. He gets the whitefish and the pike, and Gene grains it up, and it's a beautiful
Does
piece
it
of
like old
fish
school,
here. And he goes, Danny says, "No, the only gefilte fish I'll eat is out of the jar because I
Yes,
love the jelly."
the
Oh,
worst
it's disgusting.
one.
It's always on the bottom shelf too. You have to bend down, and you're wondering if you're going to be able to straighten back up. And then you're thinking, if I do, and I turn around, and somebody sees that I'm buying this, I don't know. I never liked it. My mother was
But
big
you know-
into this kind of stuff. She liked pickled herring and herring and cream sauce, smelts. Things that
Yes,
I would
the-
never consider.
The hardcore
Jewish
Eastern
fare.
European Ashkenazi Jewish
mom.
Do
food.
delis ever?
Heavy.
They offer it here, I think.
So we're
Can
going to
you go
be at
somewhere
a
and
deli
get-
tomorrow. We will ask Freed
Yeah,
if they offer
Matzo
gefilte
ball soup,
fish.
obviously, but I've never heard him talk
I,
about gefilte
I know
fish.
they have herring and cream at
Yeah.
Grandpa's.
Yeah.
and
What
that's a
about
big
the white
seller,
fish that
the
looks like it's in the gold skin or whatever? Are you a big fan of that?
Oh yeah, but there's sable, and then
And
there's
carp.
the carp
They used to do carp.
that you can have the fresh sliced. Also
It's supposed to
thin
be
like
ridiculously
lox.
expensive these days.
But then they also have the whitefish salad, and that goes.
And you're
more
a
with the
fan of
bacon.
all of
Now,
that.
before I take the first bite of the house-made gefilte fish here at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, is there a special bracha or blessing
Well, it
for?
can, but I mean,
For gefilte fish, or do I just-
Beret Paris gefilte fish.
gefilte
Hamotzi
fish?
lechem min haaretz would be over food if you
Well,
really
no,
want to be that
Hamlina
Jewish.
Haaretz is specifically for bread. I'm
It's
going to
just food
say
in general.
gefilte
It's
fish
just food in
hold the
general.
jelly, right? And
There you go.
he got some nice, freshly ground white
Nice.
horseradish. Usually you get the purple.
Now, did you dive in?
infused
Do you
horseradish.
have to put a heavy smear of horseradish on that to eat it, or
Yeah, no, I have a light smear of. He's
I don't know
got
if he has
white,
to, he does.
white
He likes
horseradish.
horseradish.
A lot
I'm a
of people
horseradish
use,
chef.
I guess, the
Yeah.
beet infused red horseradish usually goes with the gefilte fish to give a color contrast. And again, it's the same horseradish ground up root with a little bit of beet
all right?
for
Take
the
that bite.
coloring.
I want to see.
I'm going to take the bite. Maybe I should say one of the 4 questions. Man nishtana halayla hazeh, on this day, why do we have to bet the over and the point parlay along with the gefilte fish bite?
That was some blessing. Lubie,
Oh, yeah.
did you catch all of that?
He did something. I don't know what he pulled out of his
You
rear,
know,
but
the
I know the 4
four
questions. You did fine.
I think this
Manish
horseradish got to
Namahala
your head.
said,
I don't know what that was, but why is this night different from all other nights? Because I won. No. That would have been it.
But Val's happy and Brian's happy, so I guess at least someone's happy.
You know, it's not so different from other nights because 4 glasses of wine sounds like
I was
usually
gonna say that's
my
normal.
my typical dinner.
And-
These days I'm down to 2 because of the new medicine.
Yeah.
It just kind of turns me away from it. All right, we got a packed house in here.
I love
We're
the-
waiting
the
for
buzz.
Gene. I am did take the first bite because gefilte fish represents part of the Passover holiday, and that's coming up this Saturday. And then I'm going to move along to the fresh fish dishes here.
Yes.
I'm going to take a bite of. I'm going to squeeze some of this
Yeah,
lemon.
the lemons are
And look at Gene must know I'm on a health kick because he's got nothing but
Yes.
like
Oh yeah. He
steamed
usually has
broccoli,
potatoes and some kind of rice.
fish.
It's just broccoli, fish, gefilte
Where's the
fish, and
sauce?
soup.
Wow,
Where's the
this is the new mayo.
I know there's no sausage.
I wonder. Wow, that's
There's
nice.
not
Where are
the
the
heavier
fried,
Nice piece of
Mediterranean.
flat-
fish.
No, the fried shrimp.
No fried.
No, it's all
French
very
fries. We
lightly
do have a
well
little fried fish with the
But
skin
it's like
on.
lightly fried.
And
Yeah, he actually went very healthy. Good for Gene.
I'm going to say in the battle of fishes, I love the whole fried
Well,
fish.
the fried fish is like a different
Succulent,
thing.
nice and moist, and that skin crisp, so you could eat the skin.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you? Some people, when they go to restaurants and they see the skin on
That's
top
me.
of the
I
fish,
bolt. That's
they
it.
get a little squeezed out.
Defo just doesn't like this whole image. I didn't
No.
grow up with it. I'll admit it. But again, being married to a Dominican and a lot of my world has been through the Caribbean. My best friends are all either from Jamaica, Puerto Rico, or Haiti. I've seen this my whole life, so it doesn't sicken me. And now that we'll order this at least once a month, El Balcón de las Americas. There's 2 by us. They do a great job with the whole fish, so we will get that all the time. And I've gotten over the aversion. I realized that the flavor of the fish is so ridiculous that
My attitude
you
is
just get
simple:
past
is
it.
fillet that thing at the dock. At the dock. I don't want to see
Gonna
the
have
head.
it pointing at you, everybody in the audience.
I'm okay with it. I mean,
See the
I was not fishing was not my favorite thing, but I happen to do my share of fishing in my lifetime. And I mean, for some reason, I don't know what it is. I just feel some kind of weird empathy for the fish, which is hidden when you just get a fillet of fish somewhere in the usual place. When you see that,
no,
I
the
mean,
taste-
it just bothers me. I don't know. It does.
They fried its eyeballs out.
Yeah, they did a good job.
I don't
Fry
need to
eyeballs.
see
People
the
eat that
tail
all the
on
time.
the
usually
table.
the-
I really don't.
The most delicious part of the fish, the sweetest part.
You tried
and
to
it
sell us
kinda,
this before about the brains or whatever that is.
He did.
The
No,
cheek,
the
the
cheek.
cheek, right
Oh.
below the eyeball, there should be a pocket of food. But
No,
this
you're not
one,
getting that.
it
He
kind
fried
of
it.
in the fryer
He
got
fried it well.
the fryer got it. But the actual flesh here on the outer
You're like
end,
Queen
I'm gonna
Lamb
give
then,
some
the way
to
you
you.
guys
I, mean,
cooking.
I don't need it.
You don't need it? Okay.
No, I mean I can do it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I appreciate
all right, then I'm gonna
Yeah,
hear.
man.
There you
And
go.
that's
That's
very
a little
nice of
nice
you.
piece of
Thank
fried
you,
fish.
sir.
Hey, you know what? Let's
I have
take
to
our
say, it
first
doesn't
break.
look
We'll take-
particularly appetizing the way you're serving that. Are you lacking
Well, using
the
a
proper
spoon.
utensils to carve them
There's
up?
forks, there's knives.
I'm not
Yeah.
exactly.
He's using a spoon for some reason.
I haven't gone to
But
the
it
French service
It comes out so
hospitality.
like moist. Like
Yeah,
whenever
great.
they do it, and it's usually seasoned so well. Like I don't know. I got over that because once you taste it, it's hard to not go back. Because again, most places that offer it this way do offer it filleted as well. People choose to eat it this way. Like the way it's done, usually it's so moist and the flavors is
And
fantastic.
I know that when you're in polite company at a restaurant, the waiter comes, he kind of
Yeah.
does a nice job
Yeah.
of filleting it and
Yeah.
serving it out.
Yep.
Me, I consider this finger food because the
I
best
can
way to
te-
get it.
I can tell.
We've seen this act.
The
We've
good
seen
news is I
You
just
know what,
washed
not
my
in touch
hands
this-
and showered right
That's
before
fine.
coming here.
Yeah.
So
I'm the gross
Protest.
one in my relationship, so it's okay.
but I was tearing this. I love it, and the gefilte fish. It is hard to find a place that will make its own gefilte fish from scratch, and that's a point of pride here at Delaware.
Yep.
And you're going to want to come in this week if you're preparing for any of the holidays. You could give them a call at 954-983-6831. I'm making that number up.
Well, I
Is
have
that
a
the
number.
right number?
I
Why don't
can
you put
put
that
the
up
right
there
number.
for the people?
Well, what I would like to say to people is it's because Defo and I always remark on this, and it's on purpose. Because again, all of us have gone to a deli counter, whether it's in a supermarket or just a place that is like Delaware, that they just do fresh offerings of this, and they also have other things as well. But
I was right, by the way.
Even-
983-6831.
It's on
I've
the-
memorized it after
you nailed it. Good for you.
3 years of
So
having them as a great
if you
sponsor.
walk in here, like a lot of times when you go to a deli place, especially supermarkets, and you see a pack, you turn right around because you're going to be there an hour. If you walk in here, it's probably going to be busy. Don't let that deter you. They go through people so fast. There's like literally 5 or 6 people working right now. Like they have always are really well staffed. The staff is well versed in anything you would need, and they will get you in and out here as quick as you would if it was slow. So don't let how busy or slow it is matter to you. Come into Delaware because they will take care of you in any way you
You
want.
take a number on the way in. You see the big sign with the numbers. Unlike every Publix in the world
It
now, they
actually
actually
moves.
follow
It actually
the
moves.
number system. They'll shout out your number. It will go
Yeah,
very
you're on
quickly.
17 at Publix,
And,
and they're on 87. You're like,
Exactly.
I'm
Right,
in the
yeah,
wrong
right
line
now
here.
they're on my
Yeah.
favorite number, 66, my birth year.
There you
So
go.
they will
move
do
you in
it
and out,
right
and they do a great
here.
job.
I was right. 954-983-6831. So
Nice.
if you want to order something for any of the upcoming holidays, whether it be a lamb for Easter
Yep.
or some great
Seafood.
chicken and other fish for the Passover holiday, I believe they also might have brisket in here. Although
I wouldn't put it past them. Whatever they don't have, they're always good at ordering it as well. That's
What-
the other cool thing is they have the cooler here, and then Ken loves this part.
Yeah.
The professor
wild game.
have all
in
these
the
other
food.
kinds of fish and meat that you don't normally see.
Yeah.
If you do like some
all kinds of great
interesting stuff. So
We love Delaware chicken and seafood. And look, it is. I love seeing this because everybody's saying, "Oh, like the season is already over." You're hearing like, "Oh, spring break's over," and the Canadians are going home, and blah blah. I don't see any evidence unless I think what's happening now, Defo, is that everybody is moving their funds and long-term investments
Buying stone-
from stocks to stone crabs.
Oh, there's quite a crowd behind you. I mean, having been out there many times, there's always people in there. But as Lubie alluded to, as you were throwing to this break about 20 minutes ago, you're in and out quickly. I mean, there's no problem there. And they really they give a dynamite quality of service. It's unreal.
And again, last 3+ weeks of stone crab season. I'm going to do something radical today. Now that we got this great fish in front of us, I'm going to actually buy some stone crabs on the way out. We'll have a little stone crab dinner tonight, me and Val back at the homestead.
nice.
Part of my new lightweight, low-calorie eating. And right here, it fits in with any kind of regime you might have if you're trying to kind of watch yourself and eat healthier. Fish is the ultimate brain food, so come on out to Delaware Chicken Farm. They are open 7 days a week. We love them. They're the home of quality, value, and freshness, and they will take great care of you. All right, let's take that first break, and we'll come back with more on a Lunchbox early edition from Delaware Chicken Seafood after these. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa d'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa d'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. It is a busy, busy lunch hour at Delaware Chicken and Seafood. It is really heartening to see this many people in here, and it's amazing because usually, when it's a rainy day, people like to just stay home, but no, it's here. They just seem to they get attracted to come here instead of going to the beach or whatever. I just,
You want to go cook?
It's nice. And Defo, I guess, do you have any action on the early races at Keeneland? I put in about $40 worth of early.
You are a sick degenerate at this point. Ever since you've been flushed, Mayo, you're not holding back, which is great. No, I admire that. I don't have any early action. I do enjoy watching the races there. As I said on Friday's show, I very nearly was going to be there for this particular weekend. I'm so glad I was not, although they had a much better day yesterday. But it's racing nirvana when it's nice out, and when they have these beautiful fields.
It was beautiful yesterday.
Really high-end horses straight off the farms there in Kentucky. But when it's like it was on Sunday, it really is like horse racing hell. It's the last place you want.
No, it's grim when it's a sloppy track and they're off the turf and it's miserable and nobody wants to. It's like anything else. But yesterday, gorgeous sunny day. They ran what would have been the opening day card from last Friday. Yesterday, today would have been Saturday's card.
That's why.
And today is supposed to be
nice.
Beautiful sunshine, but crisp. It's in the 40s. It apparently went down overnight into like the 20s, like 28. They had like a cold.
New York City is supposed to be 20 degrees tonight. New York City.
Yeah, and
what I remember about my one foray out to the Derby was, again, it's the first Saturday in May, right?
Yes.
It was freezing. Like everyone's wearing suits, they're wearing the hats. Like it was like in the 50s in the middle of the day in like May.
I've been to 2 Kentucky Derbies, one to cover it, which was later on when I was at the Sun Sentinel the year that Charismatic won it for Dwayne Lucas. And then the one I went to as a spectator was when I was a young a newspaper person in South Carolina, and a group of us horse racing fans and others just piled in a car from Spartanburg, South Carolina, and made the drive up to Louisville. And there was like 5 of us. It was 1980, I'm going to say 89, and it was the Easy Goer Sunday Silence Derby. It was 48 degrees and miserable raining, and I vowed never. I mean, the infield was just it was like Woodstock, except like 40 degrees cooler.
The stands were kind of depressing also if you were walking around in the grandstand, although they did spiff up many of the areas there over the years. The best part of any Derby experience I've ever had, a couple of them, but one was getting Lubie onto the backstretch with no press credential early in the morning and having the security people think that he was actually Pat Day.
To the point
where, well, he was all bundled up, as he said. It was really nasty out, and he had like a coat with a fur collar, and they thought he had the blonde hair then, and they thought he was Pat Day. And so a guy saying, "Hey, Pat."
If he was carrying a Bible, they would have thought it was definitely Pat Day, because Pat Day, of course, is a very devout Christian, and he led some ministry missions and stuff like that. But
he was a very decent human being. I did many Pat Day interviews in my days of covering racing, but Lubie is not anything close to looking like Pat Day. Plus, he probably had another 50 pounds on, compared to Pat Day, and it would have been like trying to pass you off, Mike Mayo, as Frankie Dettori or something. At that point,
no, I would not pass as any jockey. I could pass as 2 jockeys because that's what I used to weigh.
But it was funny. The security was like, he's like, "Yeah, he's one of the jocks," and they're like, "Okay."
I always told Lubie, act like you belong, and you can pretty much penetrate anything.
Like Bafford's there, and Dwayne Lucas is there.
They're all waving, "Hey, Pat, good luck on that 3-ball."
Oh man, hey, so it looks like both Gene and Jose are just buried with work and getting things prepared, because all the stuff that you see out on the shelves here is fresh, and they butcher all the the meats, and the chicken, the poultry, and they're filleting fish, and they do all this wonderful work here. It reminds me, as I look around the shelves here, I made the mistake this past weekend on the Let's Eat South Florida group, which is approaching 195,000 members, of trying to actually get a fact-finding mission and have a logical discussion of how all these new tariffs might impact the food and beverage world locally.
And you were trying to not be political at all.
I put it in the warning. I said, I don't want to have a political debate. I don't want anybody's opinions of what might happen or if it's a good idea or a bad idea.
It's a factual thing.
I just want to know, if you own a restaurant or run a market,
what are you doing?
What do you do? Are you seeing higher rates? Are your suppliers telling you that in the pipeline it's going to go up in the next week? And if you're a consumer, is your behavior going to change? Are you going to now look for domestic butter instead of the Irish Kerrygold butter, or use domestic cheeses instead of the Italian Parmesan or the French cheeses? Same things with wines. That's what I wanted. 740 comments later, there was a lot of political discussions, and my other admin colleague, Dave Schutz, who is one of the top editors at the Sun Sentinel now, said, "Thanks, Mike, for putting this up so we could see who can follow directions." And it was actually a useful discussion. There was some good information in there. For instance, I didn't realize it's so confusing, all these tariffs, that even though that this administration is putting tariffs on certain goods from Canada and Mexico and auto parts, that basically they've exempted all food and produce from those 2 countries.
Oh, that's good.
So Mexican avocados and the beer, the
cerveza,
the Corona beers and the Modelo beers, and if you happen to drink Molson beer and some of those Canadian products.
Tim Hortons, you'll get it.
It won't be, the tariffs won't be in fact impacting the foodstuff items, but
okay, well that's good.
But things that are used to produce food, like fertilizer, potash, I guess, is a product that we get a lot of from Canada.
Okay.
And American farms use a lot of potash for their fertilizers. So these things that you don't even realize, and that was the educational part. But I had fun just going through all the comments and suspending people. I didn't have to throw anybody out. But let me ask you, Jeff Defo DeForest, will you change any behavior in terms of products that you buy or the amount of times that you go out to eat? If menu prices end up going up as a result of some of these
What can
tariffs,
you do?
or what do you
You
foresee
may have
any
to limit the
impact?
amounts that you buy of certain items, depending on what kind of budget you're on, or maybe go out one less time a week or one less time a month. That's unfortunate. Prices were kind of rolling upward. Did you notice this at all in restaurants anyway? Like, did you see slight increases in prices across the board? Maybe subtly applied. It
Since
wasn't like it was any great cause for alarm, but I seem to feel like in a lot of cases I was noticing in more or less, higher end restaurants that the prices were on the rise a little bit. No,
let's just say there's been a lot of upward pressure on prices at all restaurants in the last 4 years. I basically, since the pandemic, even though things have kind of evened out in terms of supply chain issues and whatnot, uh, basically labor costs and insurance costs and all these other things that, not even relating to
We don't
food
think about it, yeah.
costs have been going up. So I read a stat, and I think this was a nationwide stat, and in South Florida it might even be more, but that in the last 5 years, restaurant prices have gone up
Yeah.
40%.
Okay.
So
I was going to
that's
say it's at least half
yeah. So
or,
something
or near.
something that was $20 in a restaurant 5 years ago is now, 40% of 20 is 28
Like almost
bucks.
$30,
And that is noticeable and significant. And it does impact people's behavior because, again, if
And how
people
can't
don't, unless your income is going up exponentially, you're going to have to make some choices. And every so often, just eat some pasta at home,
Yeah.
and then save your money for some weekend socializing.
I'm because it's funny you're asking Defo. Like for me, again, I'm not going to change things until I have to. We'll see what the prices are. But I am, because again, a lot of restaurants, we're seeing a lot of industry, a lot of places are just laying people off ahead of time. So it is interesting, like just the thought of, okay, because again, restaurants, a lot of time it's all, you plan ahead with your inventory, with your shipping, with your orders.
Well,
How are they doing it before it's actually even hitting us? Like, that's interesting.
I didn't ask yesterday. We were at the Blackjack's Rum Bar and Grill. They have all these rums from all over the world.
Yep.
And, depending on which country, I guess, a rum is coming from is what the tariff will be. And then the bottle cost will go up from their distributors and importers. As I look around the market here, the nice part of Delaware is so much of their seafood and poultry is domestic, and it's local, and it's fresh. So that's not going to be impacted.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll get some fish in from Costa Rica. I didn't even know if Costa Rica is on the hit list or what the whole number that they pulled out of thin air.
I think they're exempt because too many politicians could be exposed for things they've done. I didn't see any conversation about strict tariffs on Costa Rican goods.
Well, they do get a lot of tuna from Costa Rica.
And you know what? Eat
sometimes
all
is
you
cheaper.
want, Mike Mayo, because it's going to stay the
Yes.
same.
So, but as I look around, all the fresh products here is not really going to be impacted by any tariffs. But I look around the shelves and I do see some Italian pasta and sauces, and obviously everything on the shelves here has already been imported, has already been priced, is already on the shelves. So that
It takes
is
a little while to show up,
not
yeah.
impacted by tariffs. But what I'm interested in is what's in the pipeline. How far ahead until we start seeing some of the practical?
The problem with it
effects
is
of
too. I mean,
And,
even if they change the policies, once prices go up to a certain level, rarely do you see them go back down.
Right. Although aren't eggs coming
Little
down
bit,
a little
but,
bit?
They have come down.
Not at my local Publix though.
Well,
I
that's
don't
the
buy
thing
my
is
eggs at Publix.
Certain group of the population is coming down, but it's like 3%.
But when they have a security guy at the egg, section store.
By the way, they do sell eggs in the carton here. I think
They
they're
do.
like
They
do
$30
sell
or
eggs, great job, yeah.
18. And these are nice farm fresh eggs. Just
You're
like
not
all
eating
the
enough,
products
Mike
here
Mayo. We're
at
not
Delaware.
getting enough of a report.
Well, this is the new
he's
me.
slowed down.
I
yeah.
did during the commercial break. I did pick at this fish carcass, and now you can see
It looked
kind
like,
of
one of those
we
cat
get down
cartoons.
fall.
Where they take the whole thing and
That's
it's just a
Tom and Jerry
carcass.
when they get the- No, it's finger food. I was telling Lubie, look at this nice chunk of fried snapper, beautiful fresh fish. One of the many things you'll find here. Hey, we got to take our second break. Before we do, let me chime in about our friends at Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap. They are also a.
Have they officially gotten an award yet
fantastic
for
place.
hospitality?
They should,
Give out some
and
awards
really
on Let's
should.
they
Eat
have
South
gotten an
Florida. Why
award.
don't you institute an award system?
Well, we've gotten an award for them for the most positive rave reviews being held up in the bin because we put a moratorium because there's so many of them. It's become too boring. It's just too much. Like our friends at Tropical
You
Acres.
didn't catch this Brian's suggestion. I didn't mean to interrupt, but he wants you to big bite the
Yeah.
fish carcass.
No.
I'm not.
There's a
crunching
lot
on the
of bones.
Okay.
There's a lot of bones. My
Oh, no,
dad's
we don't
choked
want
on
that.
bones many times now. Like,
we're
we're
not
not doing that.
I could big bite a gefilte fish,
We're
put it
not-
down in one
That
bite.
you can
but
do.
I don't
You're
want to
not-
do that.
There's a lot of bones in there,
It's good.
and it's
All right.
fine. But yeah, no way.
Bash News Southern Kitchen and Tap. It is the place to go if you want a great place for socializing with all your friends and family on the weekends or any day, really, because they are open 7 days. But their brunches are fantastic. Has the bottomless drink specials, all kinds of great dishes, chicken and waffles. It's coming out perfectly now. Talk about getting something nailed to perfection. That recipe now they have for their pressure fryer chicken, unbelievably good. Moist, crisp skin on the outside, moist on the inside, served with some waffles. It is so good, along with their shrimp and grits and other specialties. They have 3 locations: West Palm Beach, Clematis, West Delray, and the Marketplace Shops, where I think we're going to be doing this month's show in Delray.
Oh, nice.
We're going to visit their general manager, Jen, and I think Kevin, but we got to get confirmation of that. That'll be a week from Thursday, so it'll be on the 17th. And then, of course, we got the Fort Lauderdale 525 North Federal Highway, the free parking in the garage next door for 4 hours. Great place, unbelievable hospitality. Kevin and Brandon is healing up from his recent surgery. His neck and back are going to be 100%. He'll be happy. He'll be able to work out again, even though he looks too skinny. He's got to eat some of that chicken waffles and some more of the jambalaya and all the other good stuff that they have at Batch. Go in there, tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, let's take the second break. We'll come back with more from Delaware Chicken and Seafood in Hollywood. For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway, just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information, go to tavernakima.com. When I get a craving for real Southern barbecue, Fat Boy's Barbecue is the place that I call home. Cooked low and slow with proper smoke and dry rub goodness, Fat Boy's has some of the best ribs, brisket, burnt ends, pulled pork, and chicken around. 5 delectable sauces and the tastiest collard greens, candied yams, and cornbread this side of heaven. 4 locations, including Deerfield, Coral Springs, Cypress Creek Road, and their newest location in downtown Fort Lauderdale, 706 South Federal Highway. Open 7 days with great lunch specials, online ordering, delivery, catering, and food trucks for your next event. To order, go to fatboysbarbecue.com today. That's Fat Boy. Looking for great seafood that's a little further inland? Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C. 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the New River. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and I was ready to start shredding air guitar there. Lubie hit a button. We're back on the Lunchbox. Seems like things have quieted down. Gene might be making his way over. Before we do, I know Don Jaffe, troublemaker. It was good to see you and your wife, Jean, who Jeannie had the correct contest entry a few weeks ago when we had the golf tournament. And we're going to do a golf one this week. We have the Masters coming up. But he was like saying, why doesn't, Mayo big bite the whole fish? I was like, nope, not going to do that. But I will big bite a broccoli floret. Here we go. Broccoli floret. This is the new Mayo, Defo. One bite.
I'm not sure I like this Mayo as much as the old one. Those pictures of you shoveling food, I think really were the essence of the show's success.
Good.
No?
Well, survival does matter. So
yeah,
we're gonna.
we're rooting for you. This is good. I mean, you have to feel better. There's no question.
I feel great. More energy. Been getting to the gym, doing the walks. Down 20 pounds from New Year's. I'm going for some blood work later in the week, and I will be with my doctor next week. And we're going to get the latest report.
Full disclosure on the program.
Yeah, that's part
of what I love.
With some,
the lines makers.
The
lines makers are scrambling. They are revising trending.
It's like the stock market right now. You don't know. Is it good? Is it bad? What's going on?
Well, when it comes to things like cholesterol levels and A1C, blood sugar, to be trending downward is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
You would have to think that that's the case.
The bookies, they are very bearish on my numbers. My numbers are shrinking, which is good. So, and that broccoli floret is good.
That's
the
fantastic.
Fish is good. Everything is good here.
Great job.
I had one more thing, but now I've lost my mind. Well, it's almost time for the
your attention, though, and your focus. I mean, are you doing any kind of brain food like Joe Costello does?
Carrots.
Because I noticed today. I mean, it's a little easier, being in an observer seat sort of here. But, I mean, Lubie had to do the spot for Delaware for you. Your focus has been really on the first 4 races at Keeneland.
It's a
I'm going to tell you something.
You're eating the filter fish.
Between not eating as much and then you sweat a little bit and I get a little dizzy and it's like allergy season, so I took an allergy med and that makes me a little dizzy. And the gummies don't help either.
Although a little hypochondriac, oriented, so that's still good. All right, and then that's excellent.
And what do you think of the Masters?
Now, when's Passover start? When is the opening day?
Saturday night. Okay, let's go over the spring holiday schedule one more time. Saturday night is the beginning of Passover, the first Seder. Again, Saturday night, April 12th.
Then are you doing one, or is there going to be a Mayo Seder?
It's actually going to be a little delayed because my brother and his wife, they work at Gulfstream on the weekends. Their weekend is Monday, Tuesday, so we're going to be doing a Seder at Val's house on Monday night.
Oh, nice!
Can you just do it any day? I mean,
it is what it is.
I am what
he's
you
not
call.
Mr. Observer.
I'm not a strict observer of religious tenets. I make up my own rules, and it's still within the 8 days of Passover.
It's fine.
And I'm going to be getting some great stuff from both here. Get some gefilte fish from Delaware, and I'm going to get some of the great brisket and stuff, matzo ball soup at Grandpa's, where we're going to be tomorrow morning with our friend Freed, starting about 10:45-ish.
Yep.
But those are my 2 spots to pick up for holiday meals, so that's going to be good. Then we've got Good Friday is
He's
a week
like
from
coming Rodney Dangerfield on the show, isn't he? Like he's got a
Oh,
little
no,
Dangerfield in him.
Oh,
no,
Frida's
Freed's great.
hilarious.
Yeah,
And
he's
now
great.
he goes right
A
after
lot of
me.
one-liners, a lot of good stuff.
Goes
Yeah.
after me. Oh,
So Good Friday is a week from this Friday, which
Okay.
will be the 18th.
okay.
Then we've got Easter Sunday, both Eastern Orthodox, Greek Orthodox,
Mm.
American,
Any
Catholic, all
form
the
of Christianity.
Easters lined up together on April 20th. Then we have the end of stone crab season, May 1st, which
Wow.
is a holiday unto itself. And last but not least, I just got word from Falsetto today. We're going to be doing a reprise of the
Oh, the
Cinco
Cinco
de
de Mayo
Mayo
show was so fun.
party. We're going out to Plantation Walk,
That was fun.
where the Taco Craft in Plantation is,
Nice.
and we're going to have they have a Cinco de
was a
Mayo
blast.
block party out there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
This year it falls on a Monday.
We got Danielle on. She actually came on the show.
We're
that
going
time.
to come
So
out.
cool.
I don't know the time yet. It might be a little bit later in the day on that Monday for their block party.
Yeah.
Since it's a work day, we'll start at 4 or 4:30 if they want.
Yeah, it was fun.
But I did hear from Falsetto he's into it. We're also going to be going back to Pizza Craft this month
Oh, nice.
for
We've been
our
there. It's
show.
been like a
I
year.
believe that's going to be a week
Been a
from
while.
today.
Nice.
At Pizza Craft down at Hermarshi, which is a good place to go if you have a concert or a theater performance at the Broward Center for Performing Arts. Pizza Craft
Yeah,
is
right there.
definitely one of the good spots. All right. I think that's it. May 5th is a holiday. May 1st, end of stone crab season. April 20th, Easter. April 18th, Good Friday.
Yep.
And Passover runs from the 12th through add 8 nights onto
Yeah,
the 12th.
Through
That's
the
it.
next, I guess, Saturday.
All right, let's take our last
break.
break, and then we're going to get out of here real quick. Casa D'Angelo, we love them, and they're having some special wine dinners later this month. Those are another dates for the calendar. April 22nd in Aventura, April 23rd in Fort Lauderdale. The Passing Time Wine Dinner brought to you by the people who started the Passing Time Winery in Washington State, and that is Damon Eward and one Dan Marino. And I believe they will be in attendance with those dinners
nice.
at Casa D'Angelo. Go online to casa-d-angelo.com. Casa D'Angelo with hyphens in between. Online, you can make your reservations for that now. Casa D'Angelo, the house of quality Italian cuisine. All right, let's take the final break. We'll get out of here. After these words, let me watch the first race at Keeneland.
Hey, Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Juan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Juan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily, and soon offering takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at wans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30, except Sunday. Go to Hey, it's Mayo here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We're going to wrap things up, but good news, Defo.
You won.
Even though I'm very confused at times, but when my focus is on the races, priorities. But sometimes it's an easy game. I did second choice with the favorite with all in the trifecta for $8.
Third.
8 to 5 over 6 to 5 over 32 to 1.
Oh,
What $8 brings me back?
Nice, but that's nice.
But again, it's always
what do you have? 50-cent try?
50-cent try. And
I'm going to give you an estimate on that. How many horses in the field?
there was 11 horses in the field.
This is
So
a degenerate SAT.
One people's in our match.
85. I'm going to give you for 50 cents. $102.40.
I'm going to go lower. I'm going to say it's going to be about $78 because
That's all?
when you get the top two, a lot of people do top two with all. But my favorite thing in the world is the all button.
How about
So-
winning? Yeah.
Yeah, winning,
You know,
winning
Especially after yesterday. My God. I've never heard of a more
and
disastrous
that's
day
the
than that.
beauty of gambling. As
You're
soon as I,
boxing a dead man's numbers, and they come in, and you don't have it
and I don't have it, and then once that happens,
because you were out of cash.
you cannot bet anything else that day.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
wasn't going to
stop.
go
You
That
start.
day,
I wasn't.
you should close this app. I mean, eliminate it from his phone. Help the man out.
Oh man.
Got him on the right weight loss course. Finally, we got something going there. And now
There he is.
I have this number if you want, a coalition against problem gambling.
I thought it's just 1-888-ADMIT.
888-ADMIT.
I admit it freely. You know what? And I love all these people say, I don't have a problem with gambling. I have a problem with losing.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly.
That's the bigger problem.
Should we stick around till we see what it pays? No, Lubie's
Let's
got to
get
get
outta
out of here. Gene and Jose send their best, but they are so slammed with all the activity going on here at Delaware Chicken and Seafood. Again,
The highlight was the whole fish. You holding
Oh,
up
yeah.
the whole
Oh, the whole
I'm
picture's
gonna box
fantastic.
up a couple of these
It
gefilte
is awful
fishes,
either.
bring it home, and then of course I'm gonna actually purchase
Get
some
some
stone
stone
crab because
Nice.
I'm hankering, jonesing for some stone crab tonight. They look beautiful in the case.
Show
there.
us a credit card.
Another 3.
I've seen him pay. He
Who
actually does.
needs a
He's,
credit
Oh,
card?
yeah?
You got
he's got
cash
that cash
coming in.
flow.
Cash from the races.
and
and
tomorrow will
everything.
be at Grandpa's, an earlier edition, closer to 11, probably.
Right.
But
And Thursday, where are
thereabouts.
we? Here's the test again. Is
Grandpa's is tomorrow.
Thursday.
Thursday, we're at.
Hamana. I should know this. I
No, it's not
said it
what
the
you-
other
I know
day.
it.
Southern Kitchen.
No, we're not.
No,
batch.
wait.
Batch next week.
Even keel.
Even keel. Good
Fish
job,
Shack. It's
Defo.
a Defo.
Defo
right
and the
near
jellyfish.
Defo's.
I try to keep track of where you guys are.
We're at
I
Grandpa's.
try to be there as much as I can.
I don't
And
know.
then Friday back at the stream. So that's your week.
Do me a favor.
Here on the Lunchbox.
When you come to the show on Thursday, Defo, pick up a jellyfish from the beach because I need to start sucking
Man
on it
needs
to get that Prevagen and stuff going in my brain.
yeah.
I am
No,
wild.
I would have to say, I don't know, Lubie, do you see a lack of focus somehow?
And
since
I'm
this-
eating the brain food.
He's
I've got the
healthier
fish.
and less.
You should
focused.
improve the condition.
He's the first person that
You
drinks
can't
less,
fix everything at
eats
once.
better, and is less focused. But
Don't-
these will be
don't-
the same way too.
Don't ask for miracles. You're
So-
better off being scatterbrained than, obese.
I'm off
Default.
my usual game. All right, everybody. We had a great time here. Come on out, shop for your holidays
Yeah.
right here at Delaware. It is a classic, one of the iconic places
It is
of
an
South
iconic
Florida.
place, yep.
So that's it. All right, we'll let Lubie go. Defo, thanks for stopping by, and we will see everybody tomorrow from Grandpa's
Yes.
with some bagels and lox and other great stuff there. Until then, enjoy every sandwich.
What's next is the